রাইটার সুতপা বসু, যিনি টাইমস অফ ইন্ডিয়ার রাইট ইন্ডিয়া কন্টেস্টের উইনার, তারই লিখিত বই হলো ড্যাঙ্গল। বালিগঞ্জের একটি স্টুডিওতে একটি মনোজ্ঞ অনুষ্ঠানের মাধ্যমে লঞ্চ করলেন তার এই বইটি। ছবিটির মেন প্রোটাগনিস্ট হচ্ছে একটি মেয়ে ইপসিতা। সে খুবই স্মার্ট, খুবই কনফিডেন্ট, ভীষণ ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, নিজের বিজনেস রান করে, মিডিয়া পার্সোনালিটি, সে ট্রাভেল করতে ভীষণ ভালোবাসে, কিছু ডিজাইন করে ও সেটি টিভি চ্যানেলে বিক্রি করে। এত স্মার্ট ও সুন্দরী, কনফিডেন্ট হওয়া সত্ত্বেও তার মধ্যে একটি আলাদা রকমের ভয় কাজ করে, যেটি তাকে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করে। সেই ভয়টিকে সে কিভাবে জয় করে, এটি উপন্যাসের মূল কাহিনী। বইটির এই নামকরণের কারণ ব্যাখ্যা করলেন সুতপা।
ড্যাঙ্গল একটি মেয়েকে নিয়ে গল্প। সেই মেয়েটি খুবই স্মার্ট, খুবই কনফিডেন্ট, খুব ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, সব সব বিষয় জানে, নিজের বিজনেস রান করে, মিডিয়া পার্সোনালিটি, সে ট্রাভেল চ্যাট ডিজাইন করে আর টিভি চ্যানেলসে বিক্রি করে। কিন্তু এত স্মার্ট, এত সুন্দর, এত কনফিডেন্ট হওয়া সত্ত্বেও ওর ভেতরে একটা কোনো রকমের একটা ভয় আছে। সে ভয়টা যে কেন আছে সে নিজেও জানে না, আর সেই ভয়টা ওকে কন্ট্রোল করে। কিন্তু ও চায় যে সে ভয়টার ওপরে যেন ও সেটাকে যেন ও কনকার করতে পারে। সেটাই হচ্ছে গল্প, সেটাই সেই জার্নিটা, যে ও কীরকমভাবে সেটাকে কনকার করে আর নিজেকে সে আবিষ্কার করে, সেটা নিয়েই গল্প। মেয়েটির নাম হচ্ছে ইপসিতা। নো, নট নেসেসারিলি আমি। হ্যাঁ, আমার নিজের লাইফ এক্সপিরিয়েন্সেস তার মধ্যে নিশ্চয়ই আছে, কেননা আমি খুবই ট্রাভেল করেছি বাইরের দেশে, নিজের দেশেতেও। আর যেসব জায়গাগুলো আমি বইটাতে লিখেছি সেই জায়গাগুলোতে আমি নিজে গেছি, তাই জন্য সেগুলো হচ্ছে খুব অথেন্টিক ডিসক্রিপশনস আছে। সেই জন্যে হ্যাঁ, সেই ড্যাঙ্গল নামটা এই জন্যে, কেননা আমার মনে হয় জীবনেতে আমরা সবসময় অনেকগুলো চয়েসের মাঝখানে ঝুলি, আর ঝুলে কিন্তু জীবনটা কাটানো যায় না। সেই জন্য আমাদের কোনো না কোনো একটা চয়েস নিতেই হয়, চুজ করতেই হয়। আর যখন আমরা চুজ করি সেই চয়েসটা ভুলও হতে পারে, ঠিকও হতে পারে, কিন্তু সে যাই হোক আমাদের কিন্তু সেই চয়েসটা নিয়েই চলতে হবে জীবনে। সেটাই জীবন, সেটাই লিভিং লাইফ, অ্যান্ড দ্যাট ইজ হোয়াট ড্যাঙ্গল ইজ অ্যাবাউট। সেটাই হচ্ছে গল্পটা। সেই জন্য আমি গল্পটা যদি আমি বলি, মেয়েটার ভয় কোথা থেকে, হ্যাঁ, ওর সব জিনিসেই ভয় একটা, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, সেই ভয়টাকে কি করে কাটাবেও, সেইটাই গল্প। সেটা একটা অজানা ভয়, ও নিজেই বুঝতে পারছে না কেন এই ভয়টা ওর মধ্যে। এটা আমার প্রথম লং ফিকশন। এর আগে আমি কালেকশনস লিখেছি গল্পের। সো 3টে অ্যান্থোলজিতে আমি কো অথর করেছি, 2টো পোয়েম কালেকশন আমি কো অথর করেছি। তাছাড়া আমার অনেক গল্প অনলাইন ম্যাগাজিনসে বেরিয়েছে, readomania.com-এ বেরিয়েছে, ক্যাফে ডিসেন্সাস নিউ ইয়র্কে বেরিয়েছে। তাছাড়া আমার নিজের ওয়েবসাইট আছে, সেখানেও আমার অনেক গল্প পোয়েম।
We've been hearing for some time that Ipshita travels a lot, that she is a designer of a travel chat show. So tell me, is Ipshita happy traveling, or is she just doing it because it's part of her job?
She loves traveling. She calls herself a globetrotter. And she loves the excitement, the adventure, the new food, the new people, the new things that she sees.
And while traveling, does she carry some mud of India in her boots? Is she patriotic? Does she carry some India in her boots?
Absolutely. She is very patriotic. And I told you earlier that when she saw Anish Kapoor's sculpture, she was so proud that it was an Indian sculpture which was kept in the Millennium Park called Cloud Gate. And all Chicago comes to look at it. And it is by Anish Kapoor. And she was so happy, so proud that it was by an Indian.
And going by the endorsements on the back cover, we know that Ipshita is, dealing with some kind of fear in her life. What is this fear, and does she actually give up to that fear, or does she overcome it at the end?
Yes, she is haunted by a fear whose source she does not know. And for quite some time, she is also has been, sort of brushing it under the carpet. But one day she wakes up and says, no, I have to conquer this fear which dangles me off and on whenever it wants to. And eventually, the entire story is her journey to self-discovery. Now, when she discovers the reason for the fear, she is empowered. And what does she do with that power is also the story of Dangle. Does she use it to take revenge, or does she use it to make herself a stronger person? When she goes to Manipur, and I did talk to you about the beauty and the pathos of Manipur, she realizes that here are people who are living, in their daily life is a risk. So how much bigger are their problems than her own problems? And then she realizes that she has it all. So what is she so afraid of? And why should she constantly obsess about that problem that she has? So in a way, Manipur teaches her that you have to overcome your problem instead of, getting obsessed by it and being controlled by it. Because she's so obsessed with her own self that even when romance is there right under her nose, she can't see it. And I think that's so with a lot of us.
And what about marriage?
Her take on marriage evolves across the story. At the beginning, she believes dogs would make better companions than husbands. But when we come to the middle of the story and she's exposed to an elderly couple who are still so much in love, she says that you can find, you discover treasures in the most unlikely places. And she thinks to herself that this is what I had thought marriage to be, a fusion of two souls. And I thought it was mythical. It did not exist, but I can see that it does. And at the end of the story, she thinks marriage is a fusion of souls. And when a man and woman come together in body, soul, and heart, they come closest to God. It's like nirvana. In fact, some bit of her fear is connected to men. When strange men approach her, she has a funny feeling. And she does not know what that feeling is. Is it some kind of an attraction towards those men? Or is it that she fears those men? She doesn't know what it is. So she's very wary of men. And she's very aloof, while inside she trembles.
Ian. Thank you everybody for coming this evening, and congratulations to Shutapa on this fabulous novel. Because in January we did a cover launch and I had the privilege of uncovering this beautiful book with this very interesting title and cover. And thereafter we've done a launch in Delhi, and all I would say is that it moved me. This book moved me. It will move each and every woman who reads it, and I'm not going to leave the male members out, but every woman really needs to pick up this book. It is about everything a woman is. We all as women have demons. How we tackle them, how we live with them, and how we want to actually deal and live and carry on living is this book. Shutapa has done a great job. I will use a few adjectives. Unputdownable is one. Because like it was mentioned, the first page is so dramatic. It's so dramatic that you just want to know more. And if you put an aerated drink in a glass, you know the bubbles that keep moving in that drink, this is that book. It moves, it keeps moving, and you just can't put it down, so it's effervescent. But since the first page was really, mentioned in a big way, I'm going to do a book reading from the first page. It's very dramatic, and I hope you get a little inkling of what Shutapa is trying to say in this. And, I hope you enjoy it. She stared through the clear glass of the window on the 19th floor. It was coming directly towards her. The steaming mug in her hand shook. No, it had not changed route even now. Hot coffee spilt, scalding her fingers. She could not even look down. Her eyes were glued to the chopper. It was flying straight at her, coming closer and closer. Cockpit, rotors, main fuselage were clearly visible now. A vision streamed through her mind. The plane exploding into the WTC towers, collapsing like a pack of cards. People running, terror writ large on their faces. It is about to happen to me again. To me. By now, the chopper was close enough. She could see into the plexiglass cockpit. The pilot was wearing a white helmet and some kind of a brown parka. But can he see me? Can he see that he's heading right to me? Is his chopper out of control, or does he want to crash into me? No, no! It must be a mistake. Who will want to attack me? Nobody knows me in Chicago City. She did not want to die. How could she stop it? Stop herself from decimating into thin air? Should I fold my palms and plead? He should understand this universal gesture, even if my words don't reach him. Would he let me go then? The chopper closed in, looming up, huge, gigantic, filling the entire window. Frozen, terrified, she could not even take a step back. Across the divide of a couple of feet, her numb mind noted the grin plastered on the pilot's face. That was all she could make out because the rest of the face was hidden behind helmet and goggles. Eyes wide open, she braced for that impact, the tremendous blow, the blast, the pain. Seemingly on the verge of crashing into the room, the chopper suddenly veered away. It climbed steadily as if pulled away by invisible wires. It moved out of sight. A tiny bit of the road was gone. A chuck, 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 chuck. A sound echoed in the empty room. Motionless, Ipshita stared at the corner, unable to believe what had not happened. Chuck, 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 went progressively further and came fainter, and the whirring finally faded into a deafening silence. Very dramatic.
Wow.
দীপ রয়ের সাথে আলিয়া সুলতানা, সঞ্চারী টিভি।